very eerie thing happened to me. As I was reading the Psalms one night, and emotionally, as I say, identifying so thoroughly and so fervently with what I was reading, because it seemed to describe my own feelings, it seemed to describe my own distress so perfectly. I read these words, "I am poured out like water, and all my bones are out of joint. My heart is like wax, and it melts within me. My strength is dried up like a potsherd, and thou hast brought me into the dust of death." And I remember crying, "God, that's how I feel right now." But as I read on, the very next words made me jump back almost in horror as I came across the words, "They pierced my hands and my feet." And then, of course, all my studies reasserted themselves, you see, and just overwhelmed me with the startling recognition that in my reading I'd wandered into one of the most messianic psalms of the whole Old Testament, Psalm 22. And what I was reading about was the suffering and the agony of Jesus Christ, my Savior. And you know, at first I felt so ashamed that I had been reading of His grief as though it were my own. And a moment later, I think I was overwhelmed with an even more powerful feeling as I recognized that it was.